Vincent Van Gogh, people told him, you can't be a great painter, you only have one ear. You know what he said? I can't hear you.
Listening to Sippin' Sports, a Philly sports talk morning show with KJ and Dalt. Proudly powered by 302 Birds. Let's take it to the show.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Sip and Sports podcast. I should say happy All-Star weekend because the All-Star vibes are in the air. If you guys didn't know, we will be on site covering pretty much the event the whole weekend starting tomorrow. So KJ is going to be there along with Jesse from Philly Sports Pulse. So I'm sure that they'll have some coverage. Then Sunday, I'll be going again with KJ and Jonah and Fratty, who's hanging out backstage in the bullpen, getting ready to come on here. And we're going to cover the whole event. And then Monday, KJ and Chris will be at the Home Run Derby. And then Tuesday, me and Frosty from Philly will be at the All-Star game. So literally the whole weekend, you guys are going to have inside access, awesome coverage that you guys want to get anywhere else, powered by 302 Birds. But happy Saturday morning. Get your cup of coffee, get your orange juice. I am joined tonight. We are pre-recording disclosure by KJ McCoy and Jonah Cassel. KJ, we'll start with you. How you doing tonight?
Pretty good. Not too bad.
And Jonah, how are you?
I'm fantastic. Happy to be on. I'm down the shore right now, coming back tomorrow. And then Sunday, as you said, I will be up at the convention center for the All-Star Village, and I'm hyped for that. So
you got the Jersey Shore Blue Claws fathead.
You know it.
Too. There you go.
Best minor league team in the business.
There you go.
He's at the shore, so very well might as be. But we're going to start off with the hottest topic right now in Philly sports. I mean, you can see the face on the left screen. KJ can say his name and do an impression of LeBron James. I mean, we've all been doing it. But he might come to Philly. It's down to two teams at the moment. I mean, he might sign Friday night somewhere or Saturday morning, maybe before this podcast is posted Saturday at 10 a.m. But at the moment, Friday, 9:51 p.m., he has not signed anywhere. And allegedly, it's down to two teams, being the Sixers and the Cavs. So we're going to see where this goes. But we're going to give a special guest a chance to break it all down. First, backstage with us from the Phillies postgame show, the man, the myth, the legend himself. You guys all know him. Fratty.
James Friday. LeBron James Friday.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, this last week has been pretty wild, overall. From all the posts, all the videos, all the comments saying, is LeBron going to come here? Is LeBron going to come here? Is he going to come here? But now here we are on July 10th right now. And I'll say there's been so much hype, so much speculation about LeBron coming here, and it's becoming more real. I've been talking to a few people about it. Won't say they'll remain anonymous, but it's really looking that LeBron might actually be a Sixer. And I tell you what, I know some people, including me, I didn't like him when he went to the Lakers and all that. And I loved him when he was in Miami, Cleveland. Didn't like him much when he went to the Lakers because I hate LA. But you go in the fast forward to 2026, and you think about it for a second here. Miami, one of the teams who's in the contention for him, He's already won 2 championships there. I do not see him going to the Miami Heat just because almost their whole starting 5 is gelling, and we have 3 starters who already have played with each other, which is Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and VJ Edgecombe. So you look at the lineup, and I play basketball myself. You look at the lineup in itself. You have more guys that have gelled together than the Heat do, because the Heat have almost a whole different starting lineup except for 1 or 2 players, and Bam and I think one other guy. Other than that, everybody else is pretty much new on Miami. Most of their team is a lot of new guys on that team this year on the Heat. So you break it down, even if Cleveland somehow has a very, very slim chance, if they somehow slid back in the picture, all signs.
Apparently they're out of the picture.
But apparently they are out of the picture. Even if they aren't completely out of it, you look at it all, and you think to yourself, LeBron must not want to play with James Harden either. So all direct signs right now, Minnesota's not even being talked about. Anthony Edwards. All signs right now directly point to the 76ers. And I promise, in the name of Jonah Cassel, Dalton Holland,
don't rope me into this. Yeah.
KJ McCoy, that LeBron James will be a 76er in the next few days, and you could save it as a snippet and all that, but he's going to sign before the All-Star game. He is. I feel it's going to happen very soon. We could wake up in the next 2 mornings and LeBron is a Sixer. And Jonah, listen, believe, man, it's going to happen. You're going to sit courtside. You're going to see a 4-time NBA champion, and hopefully you'll get to see the man get his 5th ring on his 5th finger, on a whole handful of rings here in Philadelphia. And it's going to happen right here.
Lord of the Rings, Fred.
And historical. And it's something how fitting it is. 250th anniversary. And then we could be talking about LeBron on top of it coming to Philly after the All-Star game. And then you got bird season on top of that. Oh, my gosh. And then you got the Phillies possibly in the playoffs on top of that. It's exciting times right now.
It's a sweet end of the summer, isn't it, Fratty?
Yeah, it is. And one final thing I'll say about LeBron. We're going to monitor this. It would be absolutely wild if somehow, and I know it most likely won't happen, but while we're at the All-Star Village on Sunday morning, that we find out that LeBron is the 76er out of nowhere while we're there. And people break the news.
We will go nuts. I will go nuts. I might do the tarp. I might take my shirt off at the All-Star Village and start going around like a freaking like a bozo. Like I'm gonna look like I'm gonna look like a drunk idiot. But you know what though? I bet you I will not be the only one who's doing that.
Yeah.
I bet you I will not be.
Have you guys ever seen what Ray Lewis did pregame for the Ravens all those years? That's going to be me if they sign LeBron. I'll be flopping all over the place on all fours. It doesn't matter. LeBron, if he's a Sixer, I'm going to go nuts. It doesn't matter where I am. I could be in public. I could be in my own room. I'm going crazy if LeBron's a Sixer. But, I mean, honestly, in all seriousness, LeBron, he's okay. But let's talk about Big Fish Johnson, the Sixers summer league. I'm kidding. I'm not talking about Isaac Johnson, although he did have a good performance for the summer league Sixers. Yeah. I think LeBron would be an unbelievable Sixer, and genuinely, it's the best thing that he can do for his legacy because he's already got all of his LeBron fanboys, who I am a part of. I think LeBron James is the GOAT. I think there has never been a better basketball player to ever live than LeBron James. But imagine if he could get all of the Philly fans on his side. In his legacy, he wins the GOAT debate. It's over. So if LeBron really wants to be the greatest player of all time, consensus, he should sign in Philly. It's the best destination.
He definitely can be considered one of the greatest. I think you will have some people, though, that will say this. They'll be like, oh, well, he's putting himself in another winning situation. He's putting himself with another super team. Out of all the lineups I think that he's had in his career, I think this is the most talented starting five that he could play with. If you think about it, when he played in Miami, his point guard was Mario Chalmers. Mario Chalmers, I mean, he was an okay NBA point guard. Mostly, I think he only played his career. No, he might have played with the Grizzlies. I think he did play with the Grizzlies for a little bit too, but not that long. Mario Chalmers is a decent point guard. I mean, he's one of those. He was one of those starting point guards that really was just kind of carried behind the coattail of D Wade, LeBron, and Chris Bosh. Their center was like literally they had Zdronis Ilgauskas at times. They had Joe Anthony. They had Udonis Haslem at times as well at center. Like, so
that's Heat legend Udonis Haslem.
He is. Oh, don't get it wrong. He is. But this is how talented our starting five is. I mean, like this is like with LeBron. I mean, we would not be in this picture at all. We would not be talking about this. We would not be making all these AI photos and all these Photoshop photos of LeBron in a Sixers jersey if that Jaylen Brown trade does not happen last week.
I think we would, but it's not as likely.
It's not as likely. It definitely is not as likely. I think that definitely makes it a better opportunity. And I think right now, with the situation, like with the stance that we are in right now, I don't know if we would be, if there really is a top two, which they really are talking about, if it really is realistic and this is actually something that is real, then honestly, that's what I think if the top two is real, as we said before, then we really did get the right trade. I mean, trading for Jaylen Brown really did make LeBron maybe feel like, okay, you know what? Maybe Philly is a place I can go to. Maybe Philly is a contender. I mean, we definitely are now. We definitely are. And with him, with LeBron, I mean, God, we can take down the New York Knicks. I really, truly believe it. We can definitely take. I still think even without LeBron, if we lose in the LeBron sweepstakes, I still think we're going to go toe to toe with the Knicks. I think we got a chance to have a back and forth rivalry for the next God knows how long. But I think it's going to be a long time because even if Embiid is not here, you still have Jaylen Brown, you still have Tyrese Maxey, you still have VJ Edgecombe. So those guys are going to be your core guys, and they are going to be clashing against the Knicks. And I mean, if you add a guy like LeBron just for about a year, I mean, that's just game's over. Definitely, they have a shot at it. But I do think, as I said before, this would be one of the best starting fives, talent-wise, that LeBron has ever played with. I mean, he hasn't played with another starting five like this. So I think if he wants to get a championship, I think he's got it.
I think he's narrowed it down to his two best options too. Like when I look at those two rosters on paper between Miami and Philly, looking at that, I do think that he has probably the best choice. It would have been cool to see him go back to Cleveland. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big homer, a big nostalgia guy, right? Like that was his team. What he did against the unstoppable Golden State Warriors. And I guess it was the 2016 finals where they were down 3-0 and they came back and won.
3-1. Or was it? Yeah, I think it was 3-1.
It was 3-1.
You were down 3-0 at some point to go to 3-1. But it's just insane how I've always respected LeBron a ton. I loved him in middle school. Then when he went to Miami, it was a little bit tougher for me to like him. But then when he went back to Cleveland, oh my God, it was insane. Don't get me wrong. And LeBron is literally one of the most generational players in sports of all of our time. So I said to KJ on the main show, if he comes to Philly, really if he goes back to Miami, it's going to be interesting. But I think it would be more groundbreaking, honestly, if he came to Philadelphia. Like it would be like when Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay. You kind of go to a franchise that's a little bit neglected and you literally bring this franchise to greatness and new heights. Like Tampa Bay would have never done anything that they did without Tom Brady. They wouldn't even have sniffed that success. They would have been a first round playoff knockout every year. And it would have been a waste for Mike Evans' talent and all the other great Bucks like Levante David, all those guys that just went there and suffered per se. But at the end of the day, when it comes to LeBron James to Philly, I really think that this is going to happen because LeBron's dropping cues right now on his Instagram too, as of Friday night, posting a photo. Like he's fucking with us too. He may very well just be because people love to troll Philly, especially athletes, because of how tough we are. But I really think that I just have a weird feeling that he's going to come here. And he wouldn't be posting that photo, I don't think, with Kevin Hart. Just the photo, no caption. It's a little bit weird in my opinion. So I do think that he's going to kind of change the landscape and come to Philadelphia, which means at some point we're going to have to load up to trade for his sons too, because the GM is going to be coming into town.
I think genuinely all it will take to trade for Bronny James is Janai Broom and a second-round pick.
Yeah,
I really,
yeah,
it's not good. That's really all it's going to take. I think the hard part is convincing LeBron and giving him the sales pitch to get him over here, and then Bronny, he'll come along like a I don't know. What analogy could I use? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Looking at the teams, the construction of the lineups, Philly is not only the best lineup that he could go to, but it's also the perfect situation for him because he'd be the fourth or fifth option depending on how much of a breakout you think VJ Edgecombe's going to have. Miami, is he going to play point guard there? Because, I mean, look, right now they're starting Davion Mitchell. Andrew Wiggins is there. He could play the 2 or the 3. LeBron's probably going to play the 3. And they have Giannis and Bam. That's a weird fit. That's really weird. And the Cavs, they fit him in pretty well. I think they have a need at small forward with Harden, D. Mitch, and then the 2 bigs, Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. But, I mean, that team just got worse. The Sixers brought in Wade, who, I mean, LeBron does not know this Wade, but maybe, I mean, he's getting old. Maybe he thinks that our big white guy with a beard is Dwayne Wade. But I don't know. It's feeling pretty good to me. It really is. I don't see, just looking at LeBron, why would he want to go anywhere else? This is one of the best teams, I think, in the league, just on paper, and I don't know how the season's going to go. But I think your a comparison to the Tampa Bay Bucks with Tom Brady is really, really good because I think with Tom Brady, the people realized how good the rest of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were. That Super Bowl 56 defense, or 55, was all time by the Tampa Bay Bucks. And if LeBron comes here, all the spotlight is going to be on the Sixers, not just on LeBron, but on everybody else too. People are going to realize how good VJ Edgecombe is. They're going to realize Tyrese Maxey's a top 15 player in the league. LeBron is going to bring the spotlight, assuming he comes here. He's going to bring the spotlight to everybody else, not just himself.
Yeah, most definitely. And he's going to bring the LeBron sexuals. He's going to bring those fans. Who
LeBron sexuals.
Yeah, I mean, those. I'll tell you one thing. I was at the game last year that LeBron played the Sixers. It was the Lakers versus the Sixers. I thought, and I went to the game. Shout out to my friend Andrew. We went to the game thinking that would be one of LeBron's last games here in the area. Now, that was my second time ever seeing LeBron play in Philly. If you fast forward, if you rewind, I saw him play back in 2010 when the crazy thing was I also saw another guy play that day who was kind of out of his prime, but I saw Shaquille O'Neal play. Shaq was playing for the Cavs. So it's crazy. I mean, me going to that game back then, 2010 if you told me back then that LeBron James has a chance to be a Sixer, I would probably say you're on drugs or you're doing something crazy or something like that. But yes, I mean, I really thought that would be his last game. But to think now that, this is how athletic, this is how superhuman he is. Because he really is. To be able to still play at a high level the way he plays now, and still get the traction that he is getting from these teams where people want him, teams want him. Now, I know there's some people like there are some fans who do not like the LeBron fans. They do not like LeBron James. There are people who are like that, but you cannot ignore what he brings in general. And I know people are like, oh, well, he's going to bring a distraction with everything that he does. The bottom line is, even if there is a distraction, though, the guy stays on the court, the guy doesn't get injured, and the guy is still better than pretty much 90% of the other players in this league. And he's 42 years old.
Yep.
I mean, bottom line, he still plays at a high level, and I think he could play for another, if he wanted to, I think he could play for another 3 years if he wanted to. That's how great in shape he is. And I really, truly think he could do that. Just like how we were saying about Tom Brady, same kind of thing. I mean, they're both those kind of superhuman kind of guys. And I think where Jonah was saying that LeBron is a GOAT, I don't blame him for saying that, because I used to think MJ was a GOAT. I still do, but I do know and I do realize, and I do kind of feel like, you know what, though, if people do say LeBron's a GOAT, like, you know what, I'm not going to argue with that, because he's showing signs, and also like him still playing at this high level, he is in the contention. He is in the conversation. So for the people that say that he isn't, that they honestly are just LeBron haters. Like,
yeah,
that's honestly what it is. It's bottom line, because you got to realize the talent that he's still playing at a high level. And he literally is losing his hair. He's got gray beard like a wizard now. I mean, come on.
Skip Bayless thinks he's the 9th best player of all time. That's blasphemous.
That's the worst. I have him as my best too.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like if you grow up in this generation, look, sports are way like population, simply in math terms, he's the GOAT. I'm sorry. And whoever will be the best player, 5-10 years from now, will be the GOAT then. Because when you think about it competition-wise, population is only growing. It's only getting bigger, literally by the minute. So the competition is only getting more fierce then by the minute. And the drop-off in the competition since the 90s, I'm not discounting what Jordan has done. It's just there are so many Jordans in the NBA, like right now. And I don't mean that as disrespect. I just mean like you have guys like Steph Curry, you could argue is that caliber of a player. You could argue LeBron James, Giannis. There are a lot of guys, they maybe not LeBron like, but right under that are like very high superstars. And back in the NBA in the 90s, there maybe was like 10, 12 guys that were like a superstar. Now it feels like there's 30 superstars. Each team has a superstar. So it's a way different landscape. But pivoting now to our next topic.
I just got to say, for all my Jordan lovers out there, if Ja Morant played in the 90s, people would have been calling it witchcraft. He is like skill-wise, not mentality-wise, because we know something's wrong up there, but skill-wise, he is comparable. I've seen some of the layups that he did where if Jordan did them, people would have been just going insane because, oh my God, Michael Jordan just defied gravity. But no, it's just Ja Morant.
Well, it's the same thing with Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. I mean, those guys being those, those athletic guys. I mean, the way that they have the vertical leap that they have, that's where really, I mean, the problem is with Ja Morant, injuries have been a problem. And then that's also the same thing with Derrick Rose too. If you look back, another Chicago Bull, since we were talking about Jordan, a lot of those guys, I mean, like, I think about it all the time. I think Derrick Rose could have been one of the greatest if not for all the knee injuries that he had. And it really sucks because, I mean, we saw that all collapse the way that his career collapsed. So, but yeah, it definitely, yeah. I know there's people out there who think that, definitely that they think that there's only just MJ, but I mean, there's other guys too, though. But I do think MJ's being the GOAT's fine. I think it's fine to say that.
I think the bottom line on the LeBron discussion, then we can move on, is that take it all in. The shenanigans, the bring your kid to work day, the drama, whatever. you're getting LeBron James, and we just saw him take his team to the second round, which is something that the Sixers did, and that's their best performance in the last 10 years. He did that by himself. They got swept by the Thunder, but whatever.
And that's the minimum for him, so that's a very good point. But something Jonah brought up that I thought was interesting. I don't know if I believe this. I'll just go ahead and go first. Second best roster in the NFL. After you got bounced out in the playoffs, first round last year? No. Hell no, buddy. I'm sorry. They're good. Don't get me wrong. Like, they made some really good pickups. Makai Lemon, Grenard. Like, even though they lost A.J. Brown, I feel like they are overall a better team than they were last year. Not even just because of the off-the-field stuff and the off-the-field antics. I really think that they are just a better team in general. But I don't know that I'm ready to say that they have the second best roster in the NFL. I mean, you look at the Rams. The Rams probably have the first, in my opinion. Who was first in the ESPN ranking? Was it the Rams?
They're in a class by themselves, honestly. I mean,
them getting Myles Garrett just
they're a freak show. They are a freak show this year. So you have them at
Stafford
1, Eagles at 2. Who was at 3? I'm curious.
Devontae. 3? I don't know. I did not look that far into the list. I saw the Eagles at 2, and then I said this list must be insane.
If there's any chance somebody could pull up that list backstage, I would love to see that and hear that. Because I'm trying to think. I feel like Seattle's got to be top 5. Seattle didn't drop off as much as people think that they did. But Philadelphia, too. That's respect. And that's not something you see often, right? No. Usually in national media, we kind of take the grunt of it as Philly fans. I feel like they probably would have had us at 12th or 15th, which would have been major disrespect, realistically.
The Seattle Seahawks are 3rd.
Okay, so they're 3. Can you give us the top 5?
The Buffalo Bills are 4. And the Baltimore Ravens are 5.
Oh, interesting.
So
yeah,
I would have Philly at 3. I think Seattle, you can't talk about them as a not top 2 roster in the league when they just won the Super Bowl with one of the most dominant defenses I've seen.
I'd probably have Philly at 3 or 4, I think, now thinking about it. I'd probably say most people would probably put them at 5 or 6 or 7. I'm fine with that. But yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be, the point is, second best roster. Like the point I was going to make was like, this team is, I feel like, loaded for a Super Bowl. Like, this is right where we were before last year and right where we were 2022. We were on that cusp. We were kind of under the radar. Nobody really knew. And bang, we struck like lightning. So I think it's going to happen again. But we'll start with Jonah. I mean, what is your thoughts on the respect, I should say? It's not common.
Yeah, I like it. It's a new feeling to see the Eagles this high on a list that is giving respect to their players. And the Rams, they're in a class by themselves. They could be 1, 2, and 3 on this list. You just go position by position. Stafford's better than Hurts. Puka's better than Smith. Their offensive line, the Eagles have them beat in that, but then look at their defense. Our defensive line, when you look at the Eagles, it's really good. It's nothing compared to the Rams defensive line. And that, I mean, any defensive line with Myles Garrett is going to be fearsome. But this Eagles team being second best, getting the respect, I think it is somewhat deserved. I think the Seahawks deserved a little bit more respect, but I don't think second is insanely far-fetched. It all comes down to the offensive coordinator, who is not a part of the roster. So just looking at the players and not the system, doesn't matter what you think about Nick Sirianni, doesn't matter what you think about Sean Mannion. This is just about the roster. And maybe they are. Honestly, thinking about it now, I said that I stopped reading the list earlier because it was insane, but I was thinking too much about the staff and how I don't really trust the new staff. I don't really trust Sirianni, but just looking at the players that this team has assembled, they might be second. I don't even mind that.
Mac?
Yeah, they definitely do have a pretty good roster. I do agree, though, with what Dalton was saying at first. With losing A.J. Brown, I think that does kind of I mean, and it needed to happen. I mean, we've talked about this many times. It needed to happen. But it does downgrade the wide receiving core, even though you do add some guys, Dontavian Wicks, you add Hollywood Brown, you add Makai Lemon as well. Heck, I mean, he might make the team, but Elijah Moore. But those guys aren't A.J. Brown I mean, that's the main thing. I mean, AJ Brown, though, when he puts his head to it and he really does play football, he was one of our best receivers we ever had. But the bottom line was he wasn't doing that, and that's what was killing him. But yeah, I mean, this team, they have talent. They really do. And
Absolutely.
I do feel that they have a chip on their shoulder. I mean, with what happened last season, them having I guess you can say, Super Bowl hangover. I think that they want to go prove something, especially Jalen. I think Jalen Hurts wants to go out there and prove a bunch of people wrong. I think he's amazing at that. I think he definitely feeds with that kind of energy. He really lives for that kind of doubt that people give him. So I think it's okay to say that they have the most talent, that they're one of the most talented teams. They could still be one of the most talented teams, but then when the product comes out on the field, can you do it? That's the bottom line. So they could still be really talented like they were last year, but then there's stuff that happens and whatever. The good thing is we're not going to have the whole AJ drama. That's great. But we could have some drama where we've kind of already heard about this. Mekhi Lemon, him being a rookie, though, I think give him a little bit more time, but him not really understanding the playbook, apparently. Maybe that's a thing, or I don't know.
That's total baloney.
Yeah, well, maybe it isn't, or I don't know. But even you just don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying
that's
that there's a bunch of stuff that people are going to surround around, like they're going to spurt around. I'm not saying it's exactly true. It probably isn't, as you were saying. It's probably baloney. But there could be drama going on. There could be something that happens and whatever. I mean, Jalen Carter could be immature and he could start like a hissy fit for more money. You just don't know. But yeah, they have a lot of pieces and they just have to put the right pieces in the right puzzle spots, whatever you call it for those puzzle people out there. I don't really know. But yeah, you just got to figure out where to put everybody. And I think when you put everybody together, I think like they have a talented team. It's just they got to go out there and they really have to prove to not only themselves, but just the whole nation and I mean the whole world that they are still a Super Bowl contender, which I still think they are. They can still be one of those teams. They can.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm really excited for the season, and it's going to be a bunch of fun. But moving on now, so we're going to kick it over to Jonah to talk about this because I know he was excited to talk about it. But the Flyers miss out, unfortunately. I mean, not only on Claude Giroux, but now Leo Carlsson. I'll let you talk more about this.
Yeah, so the way that the NHL restricted free agency works is a little bit harder to understand than your classic, if your contract's up, you're a free agent. Leo Carlsson's 21 years old, and because the NHL gets players churning out into the league so fast, like Matvei Mishkov's in year 3 and he's 20. So that's wild to me. But Leo Carlsson, not going to be a Flyer. The Ducks signed the offer sheet. The Flyers were trying to make him the highest paid player in the history of the NHL, which really gives me positive impressions about what this organization wants to do. They have shown that if players perform, they are going to reward them, and they are going to be a destination that people want to go to. I think Philly, we saw what they did in the season last year where they had this electric stretch to make the playoffs and win a playoff series. Now they're going out and shaking up the league, forcing the Ducks to scramble with Leo Carlsson. I think they're going to be a destination that players are going to want to go to, and they want a superstar. Leo Carlsson, not a superstar yet, but he's 21, and he has all the tools that it takes to be a superstar. We saw that the only reason before Leo Carlsson, of course, Kirill Kaprizov was the highest paid player in the league, and the only reason that he was paid so generously is because Danny Briere and the Flyers offered him a giant contract, and the Wild had to up their offer to keep Kirill Kaprizov. So the Flyers are going to be willing to pay somebody, and players are going to see that. Free agents are going to see that. They're going to say, well, Philly's going to give me the money that I deserve, so I want to go play for Philly. They're building the young core. I really like this move, even though it didn't work out. The fact that they're just trying, they're getting these shots up. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I say that a lot, but shout out Wayne Gretzky, shout out Michael Scott. Leo Carlson, just the fact that they submitted an offer sheet, a big baller move to try to make this dude the highest paid player in the history of the NHL. I got to clap it up for Danny Briere.
Yeah, definitely. I've heard a lot of mixed things as well. I feel like there's been some Flyers fans and Philadelphia fans in general. They're like disappointed in this, very disappointed. They're like, you know what, though? I don't want to hear about the trying and everything like that. They got to try harder. But I mean, from what Jonah's
they
saying,
literally could not have tried harder.
That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, from what Jonah's saying, though, they tried the freaking hearts out to get this guy to come here to Philly, and the offer was matched. So really, they can't do anything like that. They really can't bring him here. So, but I think, you know what, though, that does give some light at the end of the tunnel. I think that definitely somebody is going to come here, either a veteran player or a young star will want to play with the guys like I'm trying to think of the name.
Porter.
Yeah, Porter Martone, guys like that, and Trevor Zegras. There's going to be some guys who want to play with those kind of guys, especially if they have some more success in the postseason, like how they had last season. So if they can do a very similar thing like they did last season and the crazy run they had, I think you'll have some players that will be knocking at their door very soon. So not this offseason, but I think next offseason, I think you will see some guys who are interested in being some players for becoming a Flyer and being managed under Rick Tocchet. So I think it's going to happen soon.
I think this move was a PSA to all athletes that Philly is a great destination.
Yeah.
I think so.
I mean, definitely right now, all the 4 teams, if you think about it, they're all buzzing right now.
Yep.
And I mean, obviously, yes, tonight, I mean, the Phillies aren't buzzing, but I mean, losing tonight to the Tigers, but still, I mean, if you think about it from a standpoint, though, they weren't supposed to be in the position they're in right now, but they've done a total 360 flip. I mean, with firing Thompson and bringing in Don Mattingly. So I think right now Philly's in a great spot where it is like a great destination, and hopefully LeBron realizes that, and we get him here. Hopefully
Philly, the food's great. I know a lot of athletes gotta eat a lot of food, keep their bodies right, get their energy. Philly's got some of the best food ever. Just keep that in mind.
Yep.
That's true. That's very true. But moving on to our last topic of the night. So we talked about it a little bit earlier in the show. The All-Star weekend is finally here in Philadelphia. And I know some people have been waiting 30 years for this, actually. Yeah, all the MLB heads, because it only comes around every 30 years. The last time it was here was 1996. The next time it will be here will be 2056. So a really long time away. But I'm very excited for this weekend. I'm very excited to go to the Village. There's a bunch of different things going on, from an arcade, apparently, inside the Village. The Village is at the convention center, and it's only like 10 or 15 bucks a ticket to go. So if you have the chance to go to the Village at minimum, go to the Village. I've heard great things about it. My cousin Eric told me, he said, I went to the Village in 1996 with my buddies. He said it was a really great experience. It was awesome. He said, I highly recommend you go. So at minimum, everybody in the Philly area should try and go to the Village, try and represent for Philadelphia Phillies fans, wear your gear, wear your stuff, because everybody from around the MLB is going to be here. And it's really going to be like a party. I mean, this is going to feel like what the NFL draft felt like when they had it here. I guess it was in 2018 or 2017, but this is going to feel similar, where you have all those different fan bases coming into town. The whole town is packed. Every hotel, I bet, is going to be packed, and the stadium is going to be packed. You got Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber representing in the home run derby, and then Bryce Harper representing the next night in the All-Star game. Come on.
Schwarber's starting too.
Oh, he is? Oh,
yeah,
that's
Kyle's
great.
officially in it.
So they're
Martian
both in it.
Schwarber are starting.
Wow.
Oh, they're starting in the game, you're saying?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, because Shohei's not playing, right?
Yeah, they took him off.
That's great.
I would say I got
That's
to
not
get
great that he's
paid,
hurt, but he's off.
I got that already last time we were there. The one thing I do want to get when I go is the Fanatic patch with the logo
Cool.
because there's just so much gear. I mean, the last thing I'll say is I'm going to go in a lot of credit card debt this weekend, but it's going to be fun. So
Absolutely. I was looking at the schedule and the layout of the place, and there are so many things that I want to do. I mean, just off the top of the head, I'm a huge MLB The Show guy. They've got a section that I'm going to check out. The world's largest baseball. That's going to be fun. It's signed by a bunch of MLB legends. Going to put on my binoculars, take a look at who signed it, because some of these guys, they write in like hieroglyphics. And I really am excited to see people who I've connected with who aren't from around here, who I know are coming up for the All-Star game and the events surrounding it. I've heard from 3 or 4 people who I have not seen in a little while that they're going to be there. So that's going to be really fun. What else is going to be there? Definitely the meeting the players. Hopefully the lines aren't going to be too long. Phillies legends. Sunday I checked. It's Kruk, Lazinski, Carlton, Hamels, those guys, Phillies all-time legends.
Is that just on Sunday or is it
there's some tomorrow too, but I
Yeah.
didn't check because I'm not going tomorrow.
Because I saw there's a lot of players that are doing some stuff outside of the All-Star Village. There's apparently Johan Duran is doing something. Apparently, I guess maybe I saw that he's doing something tomorrow or the next day or something like that.
I did not see that.
Probably not tomorrow or something like that. He was doing something, but then I also saw that John Kruk was doing something at a Walmart. And
Likely place for him to be.
It's with Deer Park. So it's with Deer Park, and you get a signed Deer Park baseball from
That's
John
sick.
Kruk. Apparently. So that's
cool.
apparently tomorrow. At I think it's a Walmart on the Roosevelt Boulevard, if I'm not mistaken. But I would check out for the information. Then apparently I heard some other there's some other appearances, but yeah, definitely there's going to be some players there. And I also saw some of the simulation stuff they're doing. I saw me and Dalton were talking about the Velcro like thing where you kind of like you're saving like a home run ball like Derek Hill did recently. So do your best Derek Hill impression. So that's.
I just kind of wish they made the suits the Velcro suits look less stupid. I saw some of the people.
They do look stupid. They look like I mean they look like clown suits.
Yeah,
they really do. So, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited. I hope there's going to be a lot of free stuff. I love free stuff, so that'll be cool.
Free stuff is great.
Yeah. So I think there's going to be some free stuff. I'm pretty sure there is. So. But yeah, I'll be there tomorrow. Like I have tickets for tomorrow. I have tickets for Sunday. I have tickets for Monday and Tuesday. But I think I'm probably just going to go tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday. I probably won't go Tuesday because I'll be working and everything like that. So yeah,
that makes sense. I mean, we all got lives, we all got jobs, but when we can go, I can promise you that everybody's going to be there every free second they get because this week is going to go by fast. And to see how this All-Star week is all going to develop in Philly is going to be nothing short of a miracle.
2 Phillies in the home run derby.
yeah.
That
awesome.
I cannot remember the last time that happened.
I bet you DraftKings is going to offer a bet that night, a special, where it's going to be like plus 150 odds any Philly to win the home run derby. So you could basically get Kyle and Bryce coupled in those odds. But
They might not do that because it's such a good odd.
it is good
I
odds,
think
but
what they will
never
do,
know.
maybe if I was the CEO of DraftKings, which I definitely am not, I would do either Philly to hit a 470 plus foot home run. I feel like that would be the one where it's like, maybe they'll do it because those 2 guys are huge sluggers. But to win, I feel like those 2 guys are pretty likely. They've met in the finals before. When Kyle was with the Cubs and Bryce was with the Nats, they met in the finals before. Who would have known that I believe 8 years later, they'd be doing it together in their home park. That's awesome.
Really cool, really historic.
And I think it's also really cool that I don't even know if you guys know this. Dan Baker is going to be he's the only PA announcer to ever be able to do this. He's going to be announcing his third ever All-Star game. He announced the one in the 70s when it was here. He announced the one in 96, and now he's announcing the one in 2026. So that's a really cool honor for Dan Baker. I know he's been through a lot, and definitely he's a legend, especially in Philly sports. And I think I heard he's trying to go announce for 50 years. Like, I think he's trying to go for that goal, and I think he's definitely going to hit it. And I think this goal of him announcing 3 All-Star games is awesome. So it's going to be cool hearing him announce the other players. I kind of wanted to hear him announce Shohei Ohtani's name, but he's not going to be doing that now since Shohei's not going to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, it is going to be very, very interesting to see how it all plays out. But get ready, because it's not going to happen for another 30 years.
I'll be 47.
Yeah, get ready.
Yeah.
57 and 56. Oh, my gosh.
56. Yeah, I'll be 56.
We're all going to be old. Get ready.
Yeah.
But thank you guys very much for tuning in to another episode of Sippin' Sports. Thank you to KJ. Thank you to Jonah for hopping on here tonight late on a Friday night. No LeBron news yet, 10:54. But if anything happens, I can pretty much guarantee not only will we post on Instagram, I think we're going to do a breaking news show live on YouTube we've all talked about. So whenever the news breaks,
whenever it happens,
if he comes to the Sixers, we will be doing a group freak out. So stay tuned.
The Jared McCain trade got broken to me by a Latin teacher at my school. And I'm really hoping that I'm the one to figure out the LeBron news when that happens.
Yeah, there you go.
I had a very similar situation like that. I was in a science class and the Ben Simmons trade happened with James Harden. And I started freaking out in the class. So that was crazy. And then I freaked out
the hall. This teacher who I don't have just saying, hey, you saw Jared McCain got traded? And I'm like, what are you talking about?
And then I freaked out at one of my old jobs and nearly got fired that time because of Mikal Bridges got traded during the draft. So I went nuts. But yeah, not in a good way.
That's all we got for you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you guys next week on Sippin' Sports. Now that summer's in a midpoint, hopefully we'll be doing these more often. I think we'll be in a better schedule. So to Todd out there who is saying he wants to see it more often, we got you, brother. We do. But thank you guys once again. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. All those little things really help the channel a ton. We will see you next week on Sippin' Sports.
Listening to Sippin' Sports, a Philly sports talk morning show with KJ and